Okay, so just notice this. I've seen most people get all of this stuff in paper bags. Mine came in plastic bags. I don't know if that's just this production run of the set or what, but all of the bags in mine are paper, or sorry, plastic. So there you go. So in the box, we got a manual, um, pretty basic stuff. And then we got a sticker sheet, the bane of our existence as LEGO fans. But luckily, I've already seen some reviews for this set, and yes, it is only 2 stickers, thank God. Um, then we have, looks like 5 bags of pieces here. Yep, so we got 5 bags of pieces. So yeah, I'm going to get into this, I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to do something pretty cool with the minifigures. A lot of people are doing this, but I'm also going to do it, so I'll show you what that is when I'm done. So I will be back when the set is complete. Alright, here it is, the Ninjago 15th Anniversary character display. So I have already made one slight modification to the set, and for anyone who hasn't built it yet, it is not at all obvious, but for anyone who has, you probably have noticed this. Basically, for whatever reason, in the instructions, the display stand for the Master of Lightning here is you're supposed to have the Technic pin part come out this way and then the Technic holes going the other way, but that makes it so that you can't connect this with the logo facing forward. So what most people do is they either take this logo and stick it to the front of the base here, or in my case, I just flipped the 2 pieces around and did that. And actually, I did make one other modification. There's not supposed to be a little clear display piece here, but there's an extra one in the set, and I like it better if all the ninja are jumping, so there you go. Unfortunately, we had to ground Nia because there is no other spot to make her jump from, which kind of sucks, but whatever. But here it is. I mean, it is at heart a display stand. I mean, I don't know what you expected, but this is the best way to get every single ZX Ninja remake that they made. Um, I mean, seriously, the cheapest one to get is Cole, because again, he comes in that $5 poly bag right here. 2 Coles now. I have 2 Coles. Very goofy. Um, I don't know, I feel like this camera angle kind of sucks. I don't know what I'm doing. But there you go. It's pretty basic, yes, it very much is. So we spin it around, and I got a little guest in here. I went on Bricklink and purchased the Dareth minifigure from, I forgot which one it was, but it was one of the Ninjago City sets. This is his Sons of Garmadon bartender outfit. I just thought it was really funny, and it is the cheapest version of Dareth you can get right now. The other one would be is if you bought the, what do you call it? The Build-A-Minifigure figures from the Lego store, but unfortunately I live in a small town in Canada, and all the Lego stores in Canada are in like prominent locations like Toronto, so yeah, it's kind of hard to get your hands on those minifigures here unless you order them on Bricklink or eBay, and it's about the same price as one 3-pack of figures from Lego for a singular figure, so I'd rather get a $9 Dareth than a $13 Dareth. But anyway, I don't really have anywhere to put him because he came from a super expensive set I probably will never own, so I just decided to put him in here. But yeah, I mean, it's a basic display set. It is honestly really cool, though, because, like, it is the front gate of the Monastery of Spinjitzu, which is a super important location in the show. And they got it really well. The only issue I have is these doors. Like, for one, they don't reach the top of the door frame, and 2, they kind of have a gap when they're closed, which doesn't make any sense. I mean, in theory, when you display it, they want you to display with the doors semi-open, but I want to keep the doors closed, and there's like a half-stud gap between the doors, so that kind of sucks. Otherwise, I think this set came out really nice. But anyway, back to where Dareth is right now. This is another cool thing. If I remove Dareth from here, I also gave him this trophy, which, move that out of the way. But, in there, you have the mural of the, Battle of Brothers, I think it's called, where Wu and Garmadon fight for the golden weapons. And in here, it says in Ninjargon, long before time had a name between these two stickers, I believe. I didn't personally translate it, but I think I saw a video where someone did. If I got it wrong, go right ahead and comment that I'm wrong. I have no clue if that's correct, but I'm pretty sure that's what I heard. So, yeah. But that's basically all I can say. It is a display piece after all. There isn't really much to do with it, like play-wise. If this was like a proper playset, I'd have some features to talk about, but unfortunately, it's not a playset. It's a display stand at heart. But there is two more things. One, I do have one thing I want to show in the manual, just like I did with the DeLorean. Basically, the first page of the instructions has this little page. There's a blurb about the monastery with some screenshots from the show. And then here is a lineup of the 7 original Ninja minifigures and Sensei Wu from 2012. And then we have the new 2026 updates. And then also here is the reference that's found in the tea room in the bottom of the display. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the instructions. Unfortunately, they didn't really hide any references. I guess the only other thing really would be that the progress bar in the instructions has the Ninjago 15th anniversary logo in it. It's not a huge deal. They normally do that with a lot of sets where it's themed to the set. But there is one more thing. I have this little baggie here of parts. And I think you see a lot of heads in there, but there are a couple other miscellaneous parts, and you'll see why. So let me add these to the minifigures and show you them with these pieces on them. I actually just realized that I yapped about the entire set and did not once show off any of the minifigures included, so let me just do that real quick before I change them. So first off, here's Lloyd. It's a very faithful remake of his outfit. He used to have gunmetal shoulder pads and a silver print on his helmet, but instead he is now full gold, and they really well integrated this because before it used to be silver on his torso and legs here with those scale prints, but now it's all gold, and it looks really good. He has his little scimitar here that he's had since the Ninjago movie. And honestly, this is probably one of the best revamps. The only thing I don't like is the green eyes. This is the only thing I dislike about any of the Ninjago redesigns. It's Lloyd constantly having green eyes. It's cool in concept if he has them when he's super powerful. But when he's just normal, it doesn't make any sense why his eyes are green. He's one of only 2 characters in the show, I think, that have green eyes, the other being Pixel. But Pixel's a robot, so it kind of makes sense. Anyway, but yeah, there's Lloyd. Put him back up here. I'm just gonna go kind of out of order here. I don't have like a specific order to show him off in. Oh man, can you just go on there? Thank you, Lloyd. Okay, next we got Jay. He is my favorite ninja, so he is front and center on this display. He's got his nunchucks of lightning, which is really nice. Unfortunately, he is definitely the worst of the ZX updates. He looks really bad, and there's a very glaring reason why. Originally, he had full silver armor. Silver arm, he had this silver shoulder thing on his torso, and then he had silver shoulder pads and a silver printed helmet, just like Lloyd and Cole. Which, speaking of which, I'll get to Cole, but they did much better with Cole. With Jay, though, unfortunately, because there is so much silver in his design, adding gold just does not work. The only reason why they did this is their reasoning is that it was because it's the 15th anniversary and they wanted them to be gold to feel premium, but I don't know. It would have felt more premium if they were in the proper colors. But anyway, underneath, we got a dual-sided face print, which I believe this is brand new. This front print. This is a much more similar face to what Jay looks like originally, which actually I can... Here's the original face that was used a bunch from the Golden Weapons up until I think Possession was the last time they used this head. And yeah, so you have this brand new face print that looks much more similar to his older face print, and it's awesome. And then on here is just a generic angry face that you see on some of the newer J heads. It's pretty nice. I don't know. I really like that face print. It's one of the only 2 characters I think they did custom face prints for. The rest are just reuses. But yeah, unfortunately, thanks to the armor color, they kind of butchered his design, so it's kind of a small footnote of why this set sucks. It's just a very small issue I have with it. It's not a huge deal, though. Alright, I had to pause the video there for a second. Had a small interruption, and I was struggling to get Kai off of that plant because it is very flimsy, so it just kept bending. But anyway, here's Kai. So he's honestly just a one-to-one, basically. I mean, there's definitely been some updates to his, like, clothing design, but other than that, and, well, the new Ninja Hood piece, it's basically the same exact minifigure that we got all the way back in 2012. So he's wielding the Sword of Fire, which they are very nicely still using the same exact mold they've been using since 2011, which is just incredible. Under here, though, unfortunately, Kai is not one of the characters that got a face print exclusively for Legacy. So, unfortunately, it's just his generic face print. I already have that face print on... Well, actually, I only own one newer Kai minifigure right now, so... Yeah, but... Unfortunately, that's about it. Again, there isn't a whole lot to write home about because it is just basically an update to the original design. And it's pretty one-to-one because, again, he already had gold armor on, so... Yeah. Although, one complaint. I don't know what happened here. I don't know if I have a misprint or if they just botched this on the design, but Kai's emblem does not show through the scabbard here for whatever reason. It's a little weird. But anyway, let's put him back and get to the next minifigure. Next up, I'm going to grab Zane here. So, Zane has the Shurikens of Ice. He was also one of the other ninja who had gold armor. He was the only other ninja with gold armor. So again, just a lot of print updates all around on his torso and legs. His emblem actually shows through, and I think it was the same on Lloyd and Jay and Cole, so I don't know what happened with Kai, but whatever. But he is the other minifigure that got a face update and is so significant and just looks so friggin' good. So, as you can see, this just looks like his face from the show. And you turn to the back, and you got the battle damage look that we haven't seen since Rebooted, I believe. Well, actually, they did reuse it for a non-canon Tournament of Elements Zane that they released, but still, this is just really damn cool that they referenced the sacrifice scene, I guess, from Rebooted. That's just amazing. And again, his main face print, it just looks incredible. It looks exactly like he looked in the show. So just amazing all around for Zane. 10 out of 10 figure, definitely. Next up, let's grab Cole here. There are a lot of minifigures in this set. So I'm trying to rapid fire this, but this section has gone on for 7 minutes already. So for Cole, he is reusing his face print that he's had for many, many years. I already have multiple of that face print. his clothes are really nice. He was one of the ninja that had silver armor, just like Lloyd and Jay, but they did this really well, just like they did with Lloyd. He used to only have slight silver accents on these scales on his torso, and as you can see, they changed it to gold accents. And compared to Jay, this just worked way better. And again, there's the emblem through the scabbard. Don't know what happened to Kai. But yeah, he is wielding a brand new build for the Scythe of Quakes, which is kind of shocking, honestly. I don't think we've gotten a new build for the Scythe of Quakes in a while. I think the last time we got a Scythe of Quakes was in 2022 for Crystallized, and it was a single molded piece, and it just really did not look great. I mean, the top of the weapon it looked perfect. It looked exactly like the show, but the rest of it... Alright, I just randomly ran out of storage. Maybe it's a sign that I'm dragging this video a little too long, but anyway. So here's Nia. She comes in her Samurai X attire, and there are many, many changes to this figure compared to her 2012 design. So first of all, just like the other ninja that are not Zane and Jay, she is using the exact same face print she has had for ages since the movie. She also has this new top piece that she didn't have before, which is a little odd. Also, she has this scabbard that's kind of newer from Dragon's Rising. I have a few of these thanks to the Dragonian Storm Village, which is the biggest Dragon's Rising set I own right now. But yeah, she's only supposed to have 2 katanas, but the set comes with an extra, so she has 3 now. So that's cool. She has a blue belt to represent that she becomes the water ninja later on, but the armor, all in all, I guess is pretty much the same as the armor design that she had previously. You can't really see anything behind this scabbard, so let's take that off. Just pretty basic, another printed on thing of her logo and some armor. But yeah, so since I'm running out of storage, I'm just going to keep the last couple figures very brief. I'm not even going to try and attach them back to the display, just so that I can at least get these out of the way. So then we have Sensei Wu. I'm going to say this right now, he's pretty much a 1-to-1 copy minus the face. Looks exactly the same. Really not many changes, just some added detail to his clothing. Still a great figure to this day, though, so definitely a great improvement. And then finally, we have the Master of Lightning, or Liber. So she has these really awesome lightning prints all across her clothing. Even got some on the back here. She's obviously wearing a ton of blue. And she has this little symbol here. I'm not sure what that means, but it's pretty neat. So she was the Master of Lightning before Jay. She is also Jay's biological mother. Because if you don't already know, Jay is adopted by Ed and Edna. So this is his biological mother. That's where he got his powers from. But yeah. So that's Liber. Pretty basic. So yeah, I'm going to do the minifigure modifications I was supposed to do before I went back and made sure to show off the actual minifigs. So yeah, I will be back with that, and hopefully I won't run out of storage again. Okay, one last thing, one last very small thing. Before I actually do this, I want to show off that for Lloyd and Kai, I'm not using their actual face prints from back in the day. I do own Kai's, but I only have it on one figure, and it's Kai DX, so I'm not using it for this. And I also have this face, which is kind of close to Lloyd's old face print from when he was a kid. I don't know, it's the closest I had, and I'm not spending like $3 on a head. So, there you go. Anyway, back to what I was doing. Alright, here it is. The totally dramatic change. I just basically swapped some minifigure parts around, and by minifigure parts I mean like 90% of those parts were their heads, so not a huge difference. But all around, if I go around and show you the minifigures, I'm sure you can tell that some of these are not the same. well, definitely obvious with Lloyd because his eyes are meant to be green. I think this face works well for Lloyd if it's fully covered up, but I wouldn't use it if he was actually with his hairpiece instead. Um, then for Jay here, he's just using his original face print from Golden Weapons to Possession, and then I also gave him this old lightning effect handpiece, which I don't think has been used in a very, very long time, which is very unfortunate. It's a really cool piece, and it looks much better than the new lightning piece that they make that came in this set, actually. And then we got Kai. Just like Lloyd, I just used like an approximation of his face as I showed off. It's pretty darn close. I could tell just by looking at Kai that his face was a modified version of this old 2010s face. So, you know, I just kind of threw this on here because I don't want to steal Kai DX's face. I actually didn't do anything to Sensei Wu. He looks completely fine. Then we have Cole here. Again, he's just using his classic face print. Nothing really unusual there. Now, well, I very much love Zane's new face print. I need it for something else. I'm working on a custom minifigure for Zane, and I really need that head for it. So, unfortunately, he's going to have to use this old head for now. But, you know, obviously, since the other one was based on this combined with the show version of this, it just pretty much looks identical. So, it's not the end of the world, honestly. But probably the most drastic change is Nia here. Basically, her original outfit looked quite different to this. It had this massive vintage samurai shoulder pad piece, which is just, it's just huge. And, you know, I ended up ordering it off Bricklink for I think like 80 cents. It wasn't a huge deal. Just wanted it on here. And then I also already owned the Tournament of Elements Samurai X figure because of the LEGO Dimensions pack. So I had an extra one of these laying around. And finally, I have her original head from when she was not Samurai X. I believe that head was used on the first Samurai X minifigure. Because they were not hiding that it was Nia back then. Despite the fact they kept hiding it in the show, but they refused to hide it in the physical sets. It wasn't until, I think, 2014 in a random minifigure pack that we got an accurate face print to her, like, goggle mask thing that she has in the show till she's revealed. So, I don't know. It was very weird. But, you know, for 80 cents, I was able to do this. And I honestly think it looks much more accurate like this. I mean, to be fair, though, in the spirit of improvement, though, I kind of like this better. That just works much better. This is just a super outdated part to be using for this. But I am going to be keeping this because, well, one, I paid 80 cents to get this piece in here, so it's staying on her. But two, it's just way more accurate than the Dragon's Rising piece here, so I like it much better. So yeah, that's about it for this set. I did really everything I could in this video, especially with dwindling storage now on my phone. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe, I guess, and like the video if you actually like the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.